job! Precise aim activated. We hit the enemy! We're hit! Nice shot! The situation is under control. Torpedoes! Enemy ship destroyed. Defend our base.
Yes, and here we are finally, we made it to the Zao. Welcome back to the channel. Was it actually worth it? It's actually quite an interesting ship. Let's take a look at it. So yes, 3 precise aiming to charges when you need those super accurate salvos. Really useful. Average survivability, typical of Japanese cruisers, but excellent concealment. You can bring it out to around 7 kilometers if you use the concealment module and the legendary equipment. That's something that you absolutely have to do, because then you have the first best concealment at tier 10. Only Smolensk and Colbert are doing better than you. The maneuverability is very good, especially if you consider that that thing is supposed to be a heavy cruiser. Just compare it with the Yoshino, for example. So really good top speed, really good acceleration, the same turn time as the Minotaurs, almost best in class at tier 10. Okay, now let's take a look at the guns. You get 12 206mm guns, 6 firing forward, 6 firing backwards, allowing you to be very flexible in the way you engage your targets. The range it's not good at 11.6 kilometers, but the DPM is surprisingly good for HE, and the fire chance 6 fires per minute, that's actually very good. Setting things on fire is now a very good option with the Zao. Major improvement over the Ibuki and the Takao. The turret traverse has to be improved, because yeah, that does not improve a lot, unfortunately. The torpedoes, the meat of the shield, the highest potential damage of any ship in the game, even if you include the Shimakaze and the Sommers. 10 torpedoes on each side, dealing 45,000 damage per volley. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Incredibly easy to use with a range of almost 10 kilometers. This ship is a very dangerous one if you let him get within 10 kilometers. And if there is no CV to spot you, because the AA it's still not very good, and the AA skill it's not going to help you. I did manage one clear sky with the Zao, but yeah, I don't think I will ever see that again. And that's good, because there is no CV in the gameplay I have chosen, but there are 2 cruisers which are dedicated to be hunting us, Moskva and Hindenburg, and 2 battleships with precise aim. Although the Zao does have a very good maneuverability, it's actually quite a, but to dodge you still have to be careful. It's still a Japanese ship, it's incredibly aggressive, but it's also not really meant to be taking damage, so you have to choose your engagements wisely. And that's the topic I have chosen for this final section of my cruiser's guide. In the first one we talked about the positioning, that was featuring the Aoba. Then we talked about teamwork and engagement strategies featuring the Myoko. We talked about map awareness in the 3rd iteration using the Takao, a really good one if you ask me. Then finally we featured Ibuki and torpedoes, and the Zao it's going to be, I would say, a summary of all the other guides, because really you have to apply all the skills you have learned during the grinding of the line to do well with that thing. And so you don't rush to the objectives, you have to observe, be a little bit careful, you don't immediately engage your targets, you have to choose your engagements very wisely, and that Halan seems to be traveling in a nice straight line, precise aiming, and I'm not engaging him immediately. Yeah, that's good, that's a nice small buff. And let's see what we can do at 11 kilometers with our precise aim. 8 ones, excellent. And so yes, you have those precise aiming to charges to make those salvos count at max range, but unfortunately I was too focused on that Haland and I missed the position of my Minnesota. I was actually supposed to be right behind him to let him tank while I was actually farming for damage and supporting the team, but I completely failed to... There you go, that's the mistake. And so yes, while we do set the Grosser Kurfürst on fire, he was actually already flooded, so he had used its damage control kit. We are now a very exposed target. And so yeah, it's time to disengage because I'm a little bit worried about that Yamato. The Cur first is got 2 DDs in front of him, it should not be a problem, but yeah, the Yamato just sent a salvo my way, or was it the Moskva? I'm not actually sure, to be honest. So let's observe a little bit, let's see what the Yamato's intentions are. He does seem to be looking at me. I'm going to see if I can use that island for protection to make me a harder target, so I'm orientating my bow towards him. Always moving left and right, the Zao is actually quite good at dodging salvos from battleship, and that Yamato actually was not looking at me. Maybe he was not able to look at me due to that island, I don't know. But now it does seem to be turning towards me, and it's time to disengage again. And this is obviously the ideal situation for a Japanese cruiser. You've set him on fire, it's already on a triple fire, and you can use your torpedoes while retreating. You present much smaller targets. And yes, if you're a battleship and you're chasing one of these cruisers, never ever do that in a straight line, but with those 10 torpedoes of the Zao, even if you start moving, you're certainly going to take a couple of them, and there you go, bye bye. So yep, it's incredibly dangerous for now. It's not able to set things on fire and flood them, and it has the ability to go dark very, very easily. Just look at my concealment circle. There's no way they're actually seeing me, and I can pick my next engagement whenever I want to. And so I'm waiting until that Kaba presents a much better target for me before I engage, because now, there you go, now I'm actually in a good position. I'm very close to my Minnesota, so hopefully I am not the center of attention of that Moskva anymore. And I speak a little bit too soon because I just took a salvo from it. So he was focusing me, and for a good reason, because again it's a very weak target and you should be focusing the Zao every time you see one, but now I can actually comfortably engage that with alloy. And so yeah, that's really the key lesson with that ship, and you really have to pick your engagements when you're in a very good position, ideally within 10 kilometers of your target, then retreat, launch your torpedoes, make them chase you and eat some damage. And so concealment is a very important factor to realize that. You saw me not engaging immediately all the time as soon as the target was, I would say, within range. I've already made a guide on concealment, which I, by the way, invite you to watch because it's a very good one. I'm going to put it in the first comment on the video. I really invite you to watch it again. And now we are left with 1 DD and 2 cruisers on the enemy team. The Haaland goes down, and I'm going to take a look at that Hindenburg. I'm not going to go for the Moskva. Oh, he's at full health. That's going to be dangerous for me. And so again, we go dark. We don't engage immediately. We let him play a little bit with the destroyers. And he's giving us a nice broadside. Now it's time to click that button. At the same time, I start to turn left and present a smaller target. It's already the 9th fire of the game. That thing is absolutely incredible at setting things on fire now, but unfortunately the Hindi is focusing me, and yeah, you see it. It's not going to go very well for you if you end up in a 1 versus 1 versus that kind of ships. So yeah, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to see how close I can get, set him on fire, and then, yeah, at that range it's not going to be able to dodge the torpedo. So it's time to turn around. I'm going to take a nasty salvo there, but I can actually use my torpedoes. And that's the end of the fight for him. And probably also for me, but that's okay, we did quite well. Time to debrief the Zao and the guide. So, very interesting ship, a lot of damage potential, absolutely insane concealment, good maneuverability, fire setting abilities, excellent torpedoes, there you go. But at the expense of survivability. So yeah, it's a very Japanese ship after all. And so yep, end of the cruiser guide series, 5 videos on how to play cruisers. Hope you've enjoyed it. I will actually feature another one on a Japanese cruiser that you might not know. So stay tuned, because this one is absolutely broken. So I hope you've enjoyed this one, I hope you've enjoyed the series, and I will see you soon. Stay safe, take care, that was DFA signing out, bye bye!